My screen.
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Well,
Noted. Yeah.
let's kick off. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Thank you for everyone really joining us today to discuss this epic partnership. On the call, I've got two very capable people to really speak about CheckUps and how we're driving remittances for the Kenyan diaspora globally. But before I sort of start off the conversation, I want to quickly share a little bit about sort of the agenda. We'll quickly go into a discussion around who's Lipaworld and what we seek to offer, an introductory into the speakers, a quick presentation by the CheckUps team, a quick demo on how it works, and then we'll leave it up to you with respects to questions and answers in the last 10 to 15 minutes of the session. Please also feel free to use the chat functionality, and we will be able to respond to you there as well. So very quickly about Lipaworld. So Lipaworld is a digital voucher marketplace that enables you to send essential goods and services via gift cards, digital vouchers, and top-ups. You can expect these vouchers to be redeemed in under 2 minutes, and we're available across 5 African markets. But today's discussion is not really about Lipaworld, it's about CheckUps, revolutionizing how healthcare is received for dependents back in Kenya. So I'm really privileged to have the team today on the call. I would like to welcome Renee, COO at CheckUps, and Dr. Mocha Lantum, CEO at CheckUps. So Renee and Dr. Mocha, I'd love to sort of quickly hear a bit about you guys, how you guys started the business, and give a bit more information to the community.
Good afternoon, good evening. For those in Kenya, good afternoon for those in the US. I am Mocha, the CEO of CheckUps, and really honored to have this conversation. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you for your great work, and thank you to the Lipaworld team for being great partners to create the right connection and the right ecosystem for us to help our brothers and sisters in the diaspora support their families back home through the fantastic suite of products on the Lipaworld platform. We are absolutely privileged that we can be the flag bearers of the healthcare service offering, and so delighted to be with you today. Renee, please.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the session, whether you're watching today as we live stream or you're watching the recording. My name is Renee Gamal, and as Jonathan said, I serve at CheckUps as COO. And really, this product was created as a result of an experience that we ourselves have had. Dr. Mocha living in the US for the past, I think, well over 20 years. Myself living in the UK for well over 10 years. And having that experience of sending money home so that we could take care of people who are back at home, and hoping that it gets to the intended purpose and that it is utilized in the way that is, you know, that bears some level of fidelity to the reason why it was. And I know that people in the diaspora will have this experience of sending money home to a loved one or to a relative to ask them to take care of somebody else, whether it's to buy groceries or to build a house or to buy property or to take care of health bills. And we all know that the time when people will be most vulnerable, our loved ones will be most vulnerable, is when they need healthcare. And how do we know they're being attended to on time with great services, that they're able to take the medication, that somebody is following up and caring for them. And so it was this kind of thinking that had us, number one, create CheckUps, and we'll be talking about what CheckUps is, but also more importantly, is have this partnership with Lipaworld, where, you know, not being at home, I could be able to send money through Lipaworld, buy a voucher, make sure that healthcare professionals on the other end receive the payment that allows me to be confident and comfortable in the fact that the healthcare will be delivered for my loved ones, whoever they are, whether children that you've left with, their grandparents, or family members that you love, or loved ones who you have found out about who are in need of healthcare, and you also want to contribute towards their healthcare. As Kenyans, we know this about, changaing and putting in money fundraising for health bills. We just thought, how do we resolve this? And so this is what it's about. I think I want to hand it back to Dr. Mook just to speak a little bit more about what CheckUps is and what we do.
Right. Thanks, Renee. So, as Renee rightfully said, the current state of getting access to healthcare is a challenge for families. And the question of access goes beyond just the physical access. It, in many cases, goes to the issue of financial access or financial inclusion. And I'd like to just underscore the financial inclusion piece, because what we have seen in Kenya across all socioeconomic strata is that 75% of households borrow money when faced with an illness episode. And that kind of borrowing, or the financial instruments that people have to creatively unlock, is quite interesting. They would call a friend, they would call a family member, they would call a co-worker, they would call their employer, and in the worst case scenario, they would create a WhatsApp group, ask for friends, and then it escalates to Shylock, and then hopefully, if you are really, really fortunate, the bank. What that has created, really, folks, is that access to financing is now the determinant of access to primary health care. And so if you cannot get financing immediately, then you position yourself in a scenario where you delay care for 3 days, 1 week, and some people even 6 months for something that is treatable, and something that may cost $25, $100. They just need to have the right tests and the right medication. And we envisage a possibility whereby that problem can be solved via WhatsApp, by simply having the opportunity to get a third party, like a family member in the diaspora, to reliably dispense a loan or a grant or a gift to you and the family members, and you can get the care you need on the go via WhatsApp. So what CheckUps is offering is creating that space to allow for third parties like Lipaworld to reach out to their customer base. You get a reliable opportunity to purchase a service in the form of, in this case, remittance, and the money is then now converted to 4x more value. So we are not only allowing for for you to get the money, but we are enabling get 4x more value, right? And once you get 4x more value, then we are able to then now give you benefits which go to your loved one. The benefits that go to your loved one can be shared with the entire family, African style. So you don't have to just worry about one episode. It's an opportunity to invest in the well-being of the family. Those benefits now cover for consultation, laboratory services, diagnostics, and medication. And when the person is sick, they just need to text, and then we dispatch a nurse to them. They do the intake in collaboration with our doctors in the situation room. You get the labs, and then we deliver medicines. And we try to work that in the worst case scenario within a 24-hour window, which means that we are competing against time with the clock, very similar to if you walked into a facility which comes with its own inconveniences. So we say CheckUps enables access to financing and care on the go via WhatsApp, and we work with financial partners like Lipaworld to enable families around the world to support their family members and their loved ones back home.
Thank you so much for that, Mocha. And, you know, when I first learned about CheckUps, I knew that it had to be on this platform. I have personal pain points with having family members that have suffered because they've not received the adequate healthcare. And this is a no-brainer for many of us abroad who want to make sure that, you know, the ones that we love are taken care of, you know, and the worst case doesn't happen. So I'd like to move over to the next sort of stage for us to sort of unpack a few more layers around what that offering looks like. So, Mocha, please, if you could, take our viewers sort of through the value proposition, how it works, and perhaps it might bring forth any other questions they may have.
Right. So CheckUps is a homegrown solution we've built from the ground up in Kenya and identified a suite of services that keep many families awake, right? How easy is it to speak to a doctor, get a nurse to come to you? You don't have to go wait. How is it to order medicines for refill? How easy is it to get lab tests done? You need a wellness check for your mother, your dad back home. How easy is it to do? Booking a visit, buying cover, managing pain, back pain, knee pain, neck pain, joint pain, shoulder pain, wound care, and all the support service around nutrition and mental health. So we have created this ecosystem of outpatient services which a customer can access. And the beauty about it is that we have been working for the last 4 years with all the top insurance companies in the country and have served over 400,000 customers. So this is not a new delivery model. What is new is that now we are expanding the reliability of moving funds from your account in the US to a platform that gives benefits to your members back home. And that's what Cover does. So with WhatsApp, you just need to, through WhatsApp, you can get access to these services through CheckUps, and the services are delivered to the home of the customer. And if there is a need for us to see the person in a facility, then we would guide accordingly and make sure that they get seen. So why choose Cover is really akin to a couple of things, right? I've been in healthcare for 25 years, and healthcare is one of those areas that is literally a black hole in the wallet. A black hole in the wallet because everyone knows that they're going to spend on healthcare. They don't know when, they don't know how much, they don't know what it costs, they don't know what quality is. And so compared to other goods and services where we know we need to build a house and this is what the house would look like, we need to buy a pair of shoes, we need to buy XYZ, pay school fees, this is a complete black hole. And that is why many people do not plan for it, right? And so by investing in Cover, it's a very convenient way to say, let me set aside something for my family. But then the next thing is that if you set that aside, what do you get? What's the value for money? And that is really where we have worked enormously to create a mechanism where you get 4 times more value compared to either insurance or cash paying mechanisms. And then making it convenient to consume your benefits, not restrict you from your benefits, by enabling you just to text the doctor, request for your service, we deduct your benefits, and services are given at home. So with Cover versus cash paying, we are creating a mechanism whereby you can buy benefits that gives you 4 times more value. The benefits can be conveniently shared. You can save time, and it gives you an enormous amount of control because you can start with $50, $100, $250, $500, and we're giving you the equivalent up to 4x the amount that you've invested. That means you are literally saving enormous amount of money and having real-time visibility of your medical bills. That is what families are looking for. That sense of control, that sense of visibility, that sense of like, I did it for my mother and I made her smile. That is the magic of investing in cover versus paying cash, where you have no idea how your money is being used. You have zero idea whether she's getting the best treatment or if the treatment was given at all. We have a very, very robust platform that enables you have access to this simply by texting 0111 050 290 to reach a doctor.
Definitely. And it really speaks to the peace of mind. I echo that too.
Absolutely the case.
Cool. Let's go into the packages. What do they look like?
Renee, please.
Absolutely. So you can choose which one of the following three would best work for your loved one. In all three packages, you will hear a number of things which are common to them. Number one is that you get to have a doctor's consultation, which you can initiate via WhatsApp, like Dr. Mocha said. You also access labs, which are delivered. And what do I mean by that? It means that we dispatch a nurse or a lab technician to come and collect the samples from your home or your place of work, wherever it is you are, so that it saves you the convenience of having to go into a facility to have your lab work done. And we also have in each of the packages diagnostics, some of which can be done at home, some of which you would have to come into a facility, especially for those larger machines, x-rays, that kind of thing. So for classic care, what you get is up to 4 times worth in healthcare benefits for every shilling that you spend or every dollar that you spend. And that up to 4x will be allocated towards consultation, labs, diagnostics, and nurse dispatch. Because like we said, the convenience is that we come to you rather than you coming to us. No medication and no access to specialists for classic care. For smart care, well, once again, you get consultation, labs, diagnostics, nurse dispatch, and medication that is dispatched to your home. That means that if the doctor prescribes, writes a prescription for you, we're able to deliver that prescription to you or to your loved one, wherever they are in Kenya. For the deluxe package, you get, once again, the consultation, that's the doctor's consultation, labs, diagnostics, medication, as well as access to specialists. We have 5 specialists who are always on call. And these are the ones that we have determined over a period of time when we have been serving our clients are those that are most commonly referred to. The first is an OBGYN, an obstetrician gynecologist. The second is a pediatrician. The third is a dermatologist, a cardiologist, and also a mental health specialist. For us in CheckUps, there is no division between mental health and physical health. We understand that it's all health. The other thing that I must underscore is that we are able to deliver everywhere in the 47 counties here in Kenya. That means that no matter where your loved one is, how far into the rural areas, they will not need to stress about how to come out to one of our clinics or to one of our laboratories. We come to you, or we go to your loved one as you may nominate them. And as Dr. Mocha said, we do not have prescriptions, we do not have restrictions for pre-existing conditions. We do not have restrictions for age. We do not have a wait time, and you can share your healthcare benefits with whoever you like. And so if you pay for your healthcare benefits in the US, in the UK, wherever it is that you are, and you nominate your father, your mother, and then you understand that Uncle Sam is also sick and needs to get a checkup, well, you just add them to the list of the beneficiaries. And as long as you have enough healthcare benefits that you have paid onto, well, then we will go and see Uncle Sam and whoever else it is that you nominate. Our claim is that we will take care of you from before you are born until you're DOD. After that, it's you and your maker.
I love that. I love that. I love that. And what you echoed there is so powerful. We come to you. And I think when looking at sort of healthcare benefits and, how to protect your loved ones, this is really a no-brainer. And the numbers speak for themselves. I think I saw a stat around your network of nurses being around 200, over 200 nurses available. That's really a game changer for people looking to receive adequate healthcare. But just to break down the costs, I know we have them in Kenyan shillings here, but on the Lipaworld platform, classic care, comes at about $100, smart care at $250, and deluxe care at $500. Now, if you live in the US like me, I can tell you what you spend on, a few weekends at the restaurants can quickly get to these sort of amounts. So why not use it in the right way? And I think CheckUps does that in a very, very professional way. So thank you for that. Any other comments on this slide, Renee?
I would love to add one more thing.
Sure.
One of the things that I know I always worried about when I lived in the UK was, how is my mother doing and how is she taking care of chronic illnesses? For most of you who do have parents who are aging, you're worried about their levels of diabetes, of hypertension, of arthritis, what is going on with their upper respiratory tract, those who get asthma quite a lot, pneumonia, bronchitis, and other things like those. You're also concerned, you may also be concerned with them. Are they actually taking your medication? Because I don't know about your parents, but I will tell you about mine. Stubborn old codgers that they are. You're like, are you really taking the medication? Well, we have a really great chronic disease management program where we ensure that our beneficiaries are linked to a nurse who will do exactly that. Just follow up with them. How are they doing for medication? What is their lifestyle like? They will have advice from our nutritionist, and they will be somebody who is following up on them just to make sure that they are okay. And we all know that long-term use of medication might affect organs. And so every 3 months or 6 months, or at least once a year, we do make sure that all of our beneficiaries do get a 33-point wellness test. And this just checks everything from your blood works to your liver, your kidney function, your lipids, even your cancer markers. PSA for gentlemen, and for the ladies, we have pap smears. And even that, we will come and collect the sample from your home, because women, we know pap smears are not the most comfortable thing to do. And so you do want them in all of the privacy that you can possibly get it in. And we turn around the lab results in less than 48 hours if you're outside of Nairobi, in a very remote part of Kenya, at least within 24 hours. And we just don't send you the results and leave you to figure out what that must mean. No, we get a doctor to call you and to break down for you exactly what everything means. So you yourself are in control of your own health and you understand what it is that's going on for you. Our labs are so meticulous that we're able to catch some pre-existing conditions or conditions that are about to change. And I'll give you an example. For very many people, we think that gout is something that belongs to the men in our part of the world. We know this. And yet we now know through the science that the buildup of uric acid can lead to gout for women, even those who do not eat nyama choma and have a beer every Sunday or Saturday. But with our labs and the kind of tests that we do, we're able to pick this early enough so that the pains and the joint hurts and the aches that your loved ones have been complaining of can actually be traced back to source, and we can begin to resolve that. And we now have one more thing, which I'm going to let Dr. Moka speak about, which is our laser pain management treatment, which is a great therapy that has just come out of the US. Dr. Moka, shall I allow you to do that?
You can continue, Renee, please.
Well, all right. You're going to listen to my voice a little bit more. Well, we've been thinking always, we are obsessed with what is it that would make our clients feel better, function better, stop being in pain, perhaps even reverse, or if not reverse a condition, at least maintain it. And one of the things that we came across in March of 2024 was MLS laser pain therapy. And what it does basically is this multi-lock system enables light energy to be focused on an area where you may have pain, whether the pain is skeletal pain, muscular pain, whether it's a sports injury, an acute injury, post-surgical pain, or it is more chronic, like arthritis, like I mentioned, or other related pain. And what it does is that within the space of about 15 minutes of really concentrated light energy that is focused on the area that is inflamed, well, we're able to reduce, if not completely eliminate, the inflammation, increase the blood flow to that area, and therefore reduce, if not eliminate, the pain. We now have served clients for the last month with the MLS laser machine, which we now have in Kenya. And over 90% of them have reported that after the very first treatment, that they have had substantive reduction in pain, greater range of motion, and greater ability to walk and to move without discomfort. For your loved one, if this is an issue that is a big one for them, if they're experiencing pain, if they have had a chronic pain for a long period of time, or they are sports people or have been sitting for a long time and have, you know, that ache at the bottom of your, like your tailbone, that lower back or elsewhere, then send them to CheckUps and let them also experience laser pain management. And that's not all. For those who have burns and wounds, unfortunately, something that is not so uncommon in Kenya, burns, especially in the rural area, just in the ways in which we are still cooking, wounds, including diabetic-related wounds, well, we've got some wonderful products that have come out of Japan for wound management and for burn management that enable, once again, for better healing up to third-degree burns, that instead of now needing cosmetic surgery or reparative surgery, the nature of the treatment is such that it enables the wound to close and to generate stem cells that allow for your body to heal itself naturally, which is the way it was always supposed to happen. Now, Dr. Boka would be able to tell you a lot more about how it works from a medical point of view. But what I can tell you, having seen it with administered on post-operative wounds that were not healing, on diabetic wounds that were not healing, on third-degree burns that had been caused by gas burns. What I can tell you is this, that we don't have another product like this in our country. This is the very first of it. And when you see a wound that had previously almost been given up on, that person was always going to have some kind of graft surgery to be able to repair the wound, and that now the body can be able to be given a chance to fix itself, it truly is revolutionary. And we continue to check and see how else do we ensure that our beneficiaries at CheckUps, that those people who you want to be taken care of, are taken care of the best we possibly can. And so that's just some of the other products that we have, some of the other things that we're doing, and some of the stuff that we would love to share with you and your loved ones when you sign them up for CheckUps cover.
I love that, Renee. And it's really cutting edge technology. And out of curiosity, is that an add-on, or which package would that be part of?
So you would look to be drawing from your benefits. It is at the currently as an add-on. Wait, let me add something. Let me just clarify that the wound care is not an add-on, that you're able to access that whether you have classic care, smart care, or deluxe care, because we're in the business of finding the best way and the quickest way for you to heal. The laser pain management is an add-on, but it is a very well worth it add-on. In the last, I think we've just had this now for 1 month, and we have treated, Doc, would I be right in saying about 200 beneficiaries? Would that be correct? Thereabouts. But do you like stories, Jonathan? I've got a great one for you. Can I tell you a short story?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So my Aunt Eunice, who, if you've got your one favorite aunt, you know, the one who sings and who used to sing and dance when you guys were small, and she used to make you sing hymns, and before supper time you would have to sing some inane song or entertain the guests with some song. That's my Aunt Eunice. When we were kids, she was the one who would always turn on the music, and it was always those 17-minute long songs that only come from the DRC. And she would make us dance to them until we would be so bored and thanking our stars now, later in life, that mobile phones had not yet been invented, because we would have died had that stuff gone on TikTok. It was so embarrassing. And when I came back from the UK, I went to visit her. She'd gone on with age a little bit. She's 82 now. She's still really happy. She loves listening to music. She loves dancing and singing. But she's been in so much pain, lower back pain, arthritis-related pain, that the dancing had come to an end. So I said to her, okay, come, let's get you onto this laser pain therapy. And we got her on MLS laser pain therapy. The first night, so after she had done it, she calls me the next morning. She calls me. I see 4 back-to-back missed calls. And I call her back. And you know how it is, we Africans, when you've got 4 calls from an auntie, you sit down. You're expecting the news. I pick up the phone and I say, okay, I'm sat down. Who died? She asks me, who died? I say, I'm sat down. Who died? I've seen 4 missed calls. Who died? She said, nobody died. Why are you talking to me about that? I'm like, okay, fine. What are we talking about? She says, I slept through the night. I say, okay, I slept through the night too. What are we talking about here? She says, no, you don't get it. I went to bed at 9 p.m. and I woke up at 5 a.m. I'm still not seeing what the issue is. She says, no, you don't understand. I never sleep through the whole night. I am so used to waking up because I'm in pain. I slept through the night. What did you guys do to me? That was night number 1. She'd had this condition for a period of time, and the doctor had recommended for her 6 sessions. By the time we got to her 6th session, she was coming up the stairs without a banister, without holding onto the banister. She didn't have her walking cane. And what's even more embarrassing is that she now wants us to dance those 17-minute songs, which for the life of me at this age, I could do with as many dances with my 82-year-old aunt as I humanly possible. For me, this was the one thing, because she's also that auntie who, if something's not working, she will not only just not tell you, she will tell everyone else that it didn't work. And now she's bringing her friends along so that they too can experience the MLS laser pain relief therapy. And for me, those are the kind of stories that are the preserve, that people who live away from their families know that every single moment, because we're so far away from our loved ones, are so precious, that if you can have one more dance, or even have them put their phone on as you watch and dance wherever you are in the world with them back home, it means the world. And it literally is one Lipaworld away.
Wow, that is fantastic. And what a beautiful, beautiful story. I think it really resonates with many of us abroad. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm just looking at the time. We've got about 20 minutes, and there are some questions that have come in. So I do want to go through the next section, which is really the medication. And then we'll quickly go into the how the platform works and get those questions coming in. So Renee, are you happy to take us through this section? Or Dr. Moka?
Doc, this is well your domain.
Thank you. Thanks, Renee, for this story about Aunt Eunice. That's always a touching story. The really, I'm a health benefits or health finance junkie, right? And so I just think in terms of numbers. And one of the things that I'd like to underscore for our listeners today, and for those who are thinking about, Lipaworld, 75% of the cost of outpatient care is medicines. So being able to conveniently access medicines, being able to pay for it easily, and being able to be guaranteed a certain quality is no walk in the park. Unfortunately, 40% of drugs in circulation, that means you have a 1 in 2 or 2.5 chance of buying the wrong medication, is quite disturbing. And so one of the things we are guaranteeing is that we can get the right medicines to your loved ones. And not only getting the right medicine, but getting it at the best price possible in the market, period. On average, our members are saving 15 to 25, sometimes 35% on the cost of medicines. We even have one patient where they were charged 4 million shillings for some cancer medication, and we got it for them for 1.2 million shillings with a net direct savings of 3.8 million shillings. That is the kind of impact. And to do that is literally, again, via WhatsApp, where you just send a picture of your prescription or the medicines if you have, and if you do not, we can issue one after consulting the patient. We then now give a quote and show what is available in the market relative to other retailers and what we're offering it at. So it's quite transparent, the price quote. You confirm your order. Then if you do not have enough benefits, you just top up. So you'd go to Lipaworld, and then let's say you top up for $100 or $200. It converts to their benefits package. They can select a package that gives more medication. So 80% of the amount that unlocks that they paid goes towards medication. We can do that, right? And once it's the top up, you get a message confirming that the order is ready. Once as we have sourced for it, we've packed it, and then literally you drop in and we bring the medicine to you. I can't tell you how much that does for persons with hypertension, diabetes, cancers, people who are pretty much in the situation where they have to depend on going to the pharmacy every month, and literally the only way they know to shop for is that price is the proxy for quality. And so they end up even sometimes overpaying for very bad quality stuff, and they don't know it, and they would wait for 2 months or 2 weeks later on to realize that they've got the wrong thing. That kind of waste we can't afford. That kind of non-peace of mind we can't afford. That kind of self-induced pain certainly we must take away from our ecosystem. Gladly the payment platforms allow, gladly our delivery networks allow. Yours is now to make sure that we can get the medications to the doorstep. Very much like Amazon One Medical does in the USA. That's exactly what we're doing for our members in Kenya.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Moka. And very quickly, for those on the call who don't know how the platform works, well, it's really 6 very quick steps. For us, you just have to look for the healthcare category under the Kenya section, verify your account and sign up, input the details of your recipients. And this is very important because we want to make sure that you capture the right details for your loved ones back home. Choose the package that you would like across the various denominations that we had mentioned. Proceed to make a payment, and then your voucher is processed. Simple as that, in under 2 minutes. The redemption instructions are also quite simple and all done through WhatsApp. So no more complicated back and forth calls. I think all integrated in one platform from Lipaworld back to WhatsApp, and then directly in contact with the CheckUps team. If you guys have any questions, please also do feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to take any of your questions and clarify any other things. Okay, I think then we are due for questions. We did get some questions, and by the way, we are live on LinkedIn as well. So hello to our LinkedIn family, and I believe Facebook as well. The first question that came in for me, and again, this didn't come too much of a surprise, but for you, I guess, Moka or Renee, depending on whoever wants to answer this one, is if you are planning to enter other markets, and what barriers are there for you guys to enter other markets like South Africa and any other country in Africa? Not sure who wants to take that one.
Thank you very much. Yes. So we're looking at expanding to other countries in the very near future. we have a partnership with Visa and AWS that enable our solution to scale across the Africa continent, and really working with the local supply chain partners to get this going. What we really invite you to do is really let us make Kenya the model for how healthcare can be delivered in the home. And then as we get into the new country, the lessons learned from the Kenya experience would really inform how we move very quickly into other markets. But certainly, we are open to partnerships. We are open to thought leadership, because this ecosystem is not one that you do on your own. And so reach out to Jonathan at Lipaworld, or you can reach out to us as well directly, and we can really figure out what is the best way to introduce this service in your respective countries. As you can see, we are all about making the way our parents are being taken care of back home different. We want to be the change that we wish, and this is your opportunity to lead with us from the front lines.
Awesome. I must just add as well, we recently got one of our colleagues on CheckUps to use the platform itself. So we sip our own Kool-Aid as well, so to speak. And we've been sort of blown away by how the service has sort of been received, just from the time we received the voucher all the way to our colleague getting registered on the platform. So I can't seem to see any additional questions, unless there is one here. Let's have a look. Okay, we've got one from Julia. How can one join your local supply chain in Kenya? This is an interesting one.
Very well. Again, it's partnerships, and it's a matter of having a conversation, understanding your pricing structure, understanding your delivery system, and then we certainly can have a very open conversation that ensures that end to end, the customer gets the best value for money. That's what we're about: quality, convenience, cost. And once as we tick those three boxes, then you can certainly count on us working very, very collaboratively to ensure that we're giving the best out there.
Thank you. Thank you for your question, Julia. Are there any other additional questions? While we wait for those, I just want to mention that all right, Julia, we will reach out to you and we'll provide Dr. Moka's details so you can reach out to them. We do plan on having more of these, by the way. So I think this, as a sort of first go, was sort of our take in driving greater distribution for these sessions. We are looking to do a bit of a roadshow across the US. We were due to meet up in person in New York, but unfortunately, Dr. Moka couldn't make it. So for everyone attending later this afternoon, we look forward to seeing you a bit later. But please reach out and feel free to let us know where you'd like to see CheckUp next, because I think the work that they are doing can only happen when we get the support of our community. So I really urge you to get in touch and let us know how we can be of service.
Yeah. Thanks, Jonathan. And
one thing. Oh, yes. Go ahead, Doc.
No, I was just going to say, I certainly was hoping to make it to the launch event tonight, but unfortunately my schedule did not allow. One of the things that we would continue to educate customers and is really how to shop for healthcare, right? It is the one area globally whereby people don't know what they're shopping for. And I cannot overemphasize the importance of knowing how much you're paying for and what you're paying for. Unfortunately, in the African market, the cost of care is a proxy for quality, right? And so many of us invest in spend money hoping that we're getting the best. And we are the only measure we have is how much was asked for. And that really exposes us in more ways than we can imagine. So what we are committed to in partnership with Lipaworld is really crusading and really getting families and friends to really understand what they are paying for, if it is value for money. The question that we often get is, how do we 4x? How is that possible, right? And what ends up happening is that when people experience it, it's like, wow, you mean I've been wasting this much money in healthcare? I won't get into too much detail in terms of how we 4x, but the bottom line is that the regular insurance model or the regular retail model for paying for healthcare services is one whereby you, the consumer, are paying for the massive inefficiencies and the overhead associated with delivering care. That's just what it is you're paying for. You're paying for parking, electricity, you name it, the CEO's office and the lighting and the pictures on the wall, all those things coming as a part of your bill. And so when you go and a malaria test is 1,200 shillings, and you go to another place and it's 600 shillings, your default logic is, well, maybe the 600 shilling one is not good enough. But in many cases, it's the same reagents, it's the same personnel. And the only difference is one person can price lower than the other person. And in our case, what we are doing is when you buy benefits, we are literally enabling you to buy the benefits at cost of goods plus a margin which we deliver to your loved one. And that's the magic in our technology, where we can model and forecast the market and say, this is where the demand is, and we can deliver benefits based on that promise. And so really accept our commitment to crusade, to champion the cause, because besides retirement and building your house, the next thing is, are you ready for your healthcare bills as you age? And all of us will go through that door one day, and if we still don't know how to shop for healthcare, unfortunately, it's going to eat the pie bigger than we can expect. And that's certainly something that we are committed as an organization to help solve.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Dr. Moka. And I think that brings us to almost a close for this session. What I do want to say is thank you very much for everyone who managed to sort of dial in. Whether you're watching the recording, we appreciate you, and we will be sort of running more of these sessions in the next coming months. But big thank you as well to our sponsors and Western Union Foundation and the Watson Institute. We will be meeting in person if you're in New York. The event is at full capacity, unfortunately, but please follow us across all our social media pages as we sort of have other events in the future. But besides that, I want to thank you again, Dr. Moka, Renee, for making the time, and to you, our audience, for taking time to listen to this beautiful, beautiful solution, first for Kenya.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, everyone. And it's been a pleasure to share with you our ambitions and our goals to help families in the diaspora take care of their loved ones back home. Thank you, Jonathan, for the opportunity.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And we look forward to serving your loved ones.
Thanks, Renee.
Bye.
Bye now.
Okay.